Hi, y'all. I'm Trem. This is TremTalk. Let's talk business. So, most of you guys know me as the lady that dresses nice, the immigration attorney, but I'm also a business owner, right? I own my law firm. I've had it for 5 years. There's a lot of lessons that I've learned along the way. And this season, I'm going to be more intentional about imparting some of that knowledge, what I have learned along the way, to you guys. Making it to 5 years, statistically, as a Black woman in business, is its own feat. I'm trying to celebrate myself more for that. God has been good. The lessons have been, you know, but we stuck through and we are in year 5, moving on to year 6. And something that I had to learn was to measure my output. So that's what this episode is about, measuring your output.
Every time I feel can't do no different. Swear me have a win. That's why I'ma try again.
When you are a big personality and God blesses you with many talents, you want to share those talents with everybody. If you are coming from a place in your life where you had to prove your worth because of, if you got an A or if you got a medal in a sport, in your adult life, it manifests that way with your clients and your potential clients if you don't learn to measure your output. You have nothing to prove to anybody. The fact that someone comes to you for business, that they come to you for a consultation, or that they want to hire you for something means you're already worthy, honey. They have done the research. They have Googled the Googlation. They know what you are. You do not need to prove your worth to that person when you come in the door. You got to sell, right? We got to sell ourselves, yes. But you do not have to share the entirety of what you're going to give to them in that first meeting. That's not what they're there for. It's kind of like, when Netflix is about to release a new movie or a new show and they give you a teaser and you think you know what it's about, and then you watch the show and you're like, me never know none of this. I didn't know none of this. Plot twist. That's what you got to give them. How that shows up for me in my business is I share a lot of free information on the immigration sphere, on my outfits, everything online. That is to give access to people who don't usually have access to an immigration attorney, right? So I will share certain information, but I am sure not going to share an entire case strategy with you. You got to pay me for that, babe. That's what I went to school for. That's what I did all this training for. That's why I worked at DHS for 3 years without pay while paying for gas, paying for parking, and everything to go all the way from Coral Springs to Brickell every day, 5 days a week, to make sure that I am learning what I need to learn to show up as this for people. It took work. It took money I didn't have, me and my family, to put me where I am. So you might not like that you have to pay for my expertise, but you do, right? Now, in your other talents, for instance, your creative talents, that's also something I had to learn. I recently started working with a branding strategist, and what I'm learning is I love putting on the clothes and I'm like, yeah, girl, I got it from here and here and here. He's like, absolutely not. They need to be paying you for saying that stuff because of your reach, because of how you wear the shit you wear, because you put that shit on. You understand? They need to pay for that. And so you have to share your light. Yes, let your light so shine before men so they may glorify your Father who is in heaven. But God did not say that that means you should be broke. Hey, that ain't what he said. No, he wants me to prosper. He who has begun a good work in me. Okay, but for me to do that, I have to measure how much I'm outputting. And so that goes for clients as well. If you're doing something for a low bono rate, don't give the whole enchilada. That's not what they paid you for, right? If they hire you for one specific thing, that is the specific thing that you are doing for them. And if you charge properly, you will not lose any sleep at night thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't give everything that I could, whatever. That's what they were willing to pay for. That lesson, the way God taught me that lesson over and over and over and over. And I told y'all I'm in business for 5 years, and this year is the first time that I listened. I'm a Taurus, Jesus. I'm sorry. It took me a second. So, what I'm really saying to you is don't give everything to people who don't deserve it. Okay? No one deserves all of you. The next thing I want to point out is you need to reserve some of that light for yourself. I was so focused on inspiring outside of me, helping people do all kinds of different things. What I'm grateful for, people ask me what my legacy is because I don't have children. My legacy is all the good I've done for other people. There is not one phase of my life or one place that I have been where I have not touched somebody, whether I meant to or not. That's just who I am as a person. That's the purpose that God gave me. But I leaned into that so much that I forgot to save some for me. So when it was time to give grace, I'm teaching everybody to give grace. I'm giving grace to so many other people who did not deserve it. People who literally tried to take my life, tried to destroy me and take my livelihood. Grace to everybody except myself, right? Last year, I learned that my greatest fear, if it comes to fruition, that doesn't make me any less worthy. My greatest fear in life was failure. I don't ever want to fail at anything. I've been an overachiever my entire life, but at some point, the thing you intend to be perfect at is going to crumble down right in front of you. Are you still worthy after that? Where's the grace that you're giving yourself? Baby, had to look in the mirror every day and remind myself that I needed the grace too. I need that grace. I needed to look in the mirror and be like, you are smart, you are beautiful. That's why them not like you, girl. Make girl get upset, them sick of you. You have to love yourself, look in the mirror and be like, you know what? Despite things that have happened, I have been able to do this, and this, right? I built a business by myself, first in my family to graduate from college, bought a house by myself, removed people from my life who didn't need to be there. I walk into a space every day that I created. The life that I live now is an honor, is honoring the little girl that I was who was begging for someone to love her. You hear me? I gotta walk in that and look in the mirror every day and be proud of myself and say it to myself. I am worthy. I am good enough, right? Specifically, women in business. Stop performing for people. We are natural nurturers and we give too much. And we feel like our worth comes from what we give to people. And that's it. You can't show up in business like that. Go by that fee schedule, babe. How much sales do I got to make this month? How am I going to feed my staff? I have a staff of 6. I don't have time to forget what my worth is or that I have to go out there and sell and understand that what I am selling, you should buy because I am good at what I do. We don't have time for that. Bet on yourself. Stop giving and sacrificing 100% of yourself and reserving nothing for you. How many of you have been saying, I want to start that business? It's been in your mind. And what my mom said something to me this morning. She said, when God convicts you to do something and you don't do it, it feels like your skin is burning. That skin is burning feeling that God has given you for how much years, and you use every excuse. Oh, my husband's doing this, so I got to watch the home right now. Oh, my children needs this. And then the man get up and leave, honey. Them kids turn 18 and go to college, and you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, what have I done for myself? What are you reserving for yourself as a woman? People are going to tell you that you're selfish, you're harsh, you're hard, you're not worthy, you're arrogant. Lord knows I hear that a lot. I regret to inform you that the people who know me and love me know that I show up as this, but I am the nicest, most humble person. But you won't know that because I don't show that side of me to everybody. You understand? I reserve that for those who love and care about me. I've learned to reserve parts of my brilliance for when you pay me and be fine with saying no. If you would like the consultation link, here is the link. I had a recent experience with somebody that I was networking with, and the person messaged me at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday, I believe it was, because one of my colleagues didn't think, you'd be messaging me at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday and gave them my number. And the person messaged me, Because of the circumstance and the climate of immigration, I was like, you know what? Let me pick up the phone because you're obviously terrified. I said, okay, here's what's going to happen. This is the law. Boom, boom, boom. All right. You can't do anything at this point, but I'll walk you through the rest. Okay. The person keeps messaging me. So I said, okay, I've told you everything I can at this point. Going forward, you're going to have to pay for my expertise. Here's the link to schedule a meeting because I have a calendar. Okay. You see me coming like kiki and I have my cute little, I'm a businesswoman. You don't run a successful business helping 400 current clients by not having a schedule. I don't do anything by myself in my office. My calendar is managed by somebody else to make sure that I don't overlook anything, right? My systems, again, my branding manager says it needs to be studied, okay, because I'm a psychopath. But because of that, you have to allow people to know that you need to respect my systems. If you want my help, this is how I have set things up for me to be able to help people, right? That means you're gonna have to follow that link, babe, pay that money, and then be put in my schedule. That's how that works. If you don't want to do it that way, feel free to call my assistant. She'll let you know when I'm available, but you're gonna still need to pay that money. I got 6 people to pay every 2 weeks. Thank you. When I sent the link to this gentleman, he says, you know what? I'm not feeling the warm and fuzzies. Let me tell you something. Do you see the suit I have on? Do I look like a warm and fuzzy type of person? I'm warm and fuzzy when I am not in trimming the attorney mode. I'm warm and fuzzy when I'm not on a billboard telling you that it's more than forms. I'm warm and fuzzy when I'm not in immigration court destroying opposing counsel to make sure my client is free from detention in Texas, where nobody's winning cases. Okay? That girl is not warm and fuzzy. You don't need warm and fuzzy Tremaine to do what you're asking me to do, right? But the bulldog shark Tremaine gonna need you to pay that retainer. Okay. That's what it's like being a woman in business. You want me to be cutesy and warm and fuzzy. Are you crazy? So unless you assert who you are as a business person, they're going to continue to try to run over you. And every time you say no, those are the people that's going to be like, oh, she's a bitch. I went to her and I didn't like her attitude, because I don't let you run over me. Okay. I have had that experience so many times because I primarily serve my people and them love freeness. They love it for free and they love to do things the way they want to do. And because I do immigration, or my auntie, uncle, cousin, they do it this way and they were able to do it. I don't care what your auntie, uncle did, babe. I don't business. 99% success rate. That means you either going to trust what I am telling you or you could go to your auntie or your uncle to have them do it. You understand? So you just have to remember to measure your output. Measure what you are doing. Don't let, because you want to please people and because you're trying to prove your worth, you are never going to be able to prove that to anybody. The only person you need to prove that to is yourself and to God. And guess what? You come worthy. Even on the days you don't feel like it, you come worthy, and you're worthy just because you are, just because you're breathing. That's all that God requires for you, right? So every time and every day he breathes breath into your lungs and you wake up that day feeling depressed, like, I cannot believe he woke me up again. You're awake up, get up, go, prove your worth to yourself and to him by showing up. That is it. Everybody else going to just have to come along for the ride for the price that you charge. Measure your output. You don't need to overperform for anybody to prove that you're worth it. They won't believe it anyway. Thank you for coming to TremTalk.
Every time I feel can't do no different. Swear me half a win. That's why I'ma try